Well, in entertaining fashion, we had the Baltimore Ravens and Las Vegas Raiders playing in an overtime game to close out the first week of the the NFL regular season. The Raiders ended up winning 33-27. Like I said, they loved them 33s, them 3s and them 6s. 2 plus 7 is 9. Upside down 6. And just like the LA Rams, who won at SoFi Stadium in their first game with fans, the Las Vegas Raiders won in primetime with fans. They made sure the stadium was rocking. And they love to emphasize how they were in the entertainment capital of America. Keyword entertainment. Now when you look at the game, Lamar Jackson fumbled twice, clearly on purpose. The first one when he went down, the defender barely touched the ball, but then he threw it back as he fell. Like he tossed that motherfucker back. The second time, he just stayed in the pocket and held it too long, like he did against the Titans in the playoffs. Like he knew what it was. In the fourth quarter, when Lamar busted that long run that landed him at the Las Vegas 37-yard line, the B-roll quickly panned to a fan wearing a number 37 Raiders jersey. And then the Ravens end up leaving 37 seconds on the clock for the Raiders to tie the game in regulation. Lamar Jackson equals 37 in gematria. Like, the mockery is ridiculous. And when you look at the Ravens secondary, good God, like the lack of effort that they displayed on a lot of the second half defensive possessions was ridiculous. Like, it was clear, it looked like they were diving at the air. They were trying to tackle Ghost. Like, they're whiffing, they're leaving their assignments obvious as hell. Like, you even see on the Zay Jones touchdown in overtime. Like, coverage was just abandoned. You can't tell me that he didn't abandon that coverage. And on that last possession, you can't tell me as fast as the Raiders scored that the Ravens weren't helping them score that quickly. And then Darren Waller, who was like non-existent for most of the game, suddenly the announcer talked about him. And then next play, boom, touchdown. Like, notice they always talk about what's going to happen before it happens. They quote unquote predict it. Oh yeah, side note, that Derek Carr interception near the end of the game, that shit was comical. They really wanted to make sure that game was suspenseful. I noticed that they tried to push the rainbow agenda of Carl Nassib. I wasn't shocked by this, but you know, once you go woke, you go broke. This is ESPN we're talking about. I found it funny that Willie Snead and Yannick Ngakoue both played for the Ravens last year. Now they played for the Raiders. You see this trend a lot, especially in like the opening weeks of the NFL season. Like, you had Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson playing against the Jets, their former team. Now we're seeing the same thing with also Latavius Murray. Now he's with the Ravens, scored against his old team, the Raiders. So, like, pay attention to those little things. It may be just like they show them on the sideline. They may not even be involved in the play, but they just happen to show them. So pay attention to that. Now, Max Crosby, another person who was like a big focal point of the game, talking about how he was going through rehab, this, that, and the third. Used to be an alcoholic, turned his life around. I'm talking about it's like reborn. Peep that term, reborn. I noticed he has the all-seeing eye tatted on his arm. And this was a big he was a big character of the storyline. Him and Darren Waller, they like to connect those two. And then you look later in the game, both of them had a major impact for the Raiders to win the game. And hell, even in overtime, Crosby and Lamar were even like smiling and talking to each other on after multiple possessions. Like, if this game is so real, why are you just like chopping it up back and forth in overtime when that's a crucial point in the game? Just chopping up on casual conversation. Like, really? And in the fourth quarter, Gruden was already smirking, like he already knew he was going to win. And the announcers pointed it out. Like I said, these announcers be telling y'all this shit. At this point, if you can't figure it out, I don't know what to tell you. And lastly, I knew it was over for the Ravens. Really when it went into overtime, but when they won that coin toss, yeah. They not going to let the home team fans witness in the opening game of the season their team lose in overtime. And it's the first game with fans. You really got to think about that. Like, from Lamar's body language in overtime and really near the end of the fourth, he knew what it was. He already knew, yep, I got to throw this game. And guess what happened? Through the game, it was entertaining. It was very entertaining. So that's just a quick recap of the Ravens-Raiders Monday Night Football Circus Extravaganza. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. We are out.